finishing the joints, plastering the joints. Before starting the preparation of the plaster, it is essential to follow the directions of the manufacturer's label on the packaging for best results and the most convenient yield. The setting fillers are prepared with a spatula or plaster trowel with manual mixing. Plastering is always preceded by correcting surface imperfections and checking the depth of the screw heads. The filler must be prepared in such a way as to have adequate density and smoothness. The plastering of the screw heads is carried out at the same time as plastering of the joints between the slabs. After adjusting the incorrectly positioned screws, apply at least 2 coats of plaster over each screw, pressing with the spatula to level the plaster to the surface of the slab. Distribute a generous and homogeneous layer of plaster along the edges of the slabs until it reaches the level of the slab surface. Then spread the reinforcement tape with the rough side facing the slab centered in the middle of the joint. Apply adequate pressure with the spatula to remove excess plaster under and on the sides of the tape, taking care to avoid the formation of air bubbles. The corner must be plastered following the procedures already seen and reinforced with micro-perforated tape. The micro-perforated tape will be placed directly on the corner of the wall so that half of the tape is on one side of the corner and half of the tape is on the other side of the corner, creating continuity between the sheet surfaces. The edges will then be treated as flat joints using a smaller spatula or the appropriate corner spatula. In order to reinforce the corners, you can install galvanized steel edge protectors. Check the correct installation of the slabs at 90 degrees and, if necessary, restore the angle by filling it with plaster. Apply the rigid galvanized steel edge protector to the stucco bed, suitably perforated for the plaster to hide it. Cover with plaster and then finish. After the first coat of plaster, before proceeding to the next plastering levels, it is advisable to make sure that the previous layer has set and is completely dry to avoid shrinking of the plaster. After drying, check that there are no imperfections or micro cracks along the plastered joint. Remove any roughness with a hand sander and sandpaper designed for drywall. Then apply the second coat of plaster, which will extend for a width of about 30 centimeters. This is necessary to bring the plastered surface to the same level as the drywall surface.